Thank you for everyone who joined, and welcome to the NetXMS talks. Today we continue talking about what NetXMS brings in the new releases, and specifically in the latest minor release, 6.1. Yes, it's called minor, but actually it doesn't feel that minor to me in terms of what it brings to the table. And NetXMS 6.1 is our first step towards OpenTelemetry support. And today, Victor will talk about OTLP metric support in NetXMS. Then Tanya is going to catch up and touch upon numerous usability improvements in the system. As you know, NetXMS platform is huge, and having it handy is very important. So as usual, there will be a recording, so you can rewatch this session on the YouTube, like and subscribe. Now I will give a word to Victor, who will start with introducing you to the OTLP metric support. Victor, to you.
Hello. OTLP metrics, OpenTelemetry metrics, is really the first step. The ultimate goal is to have logs and traces in NetXMS as well, but that's most likely for version 7.0. OTLP metrics was the most natural first step because that pretty much just a new data ingestion mechanism for NetXMS. So I have on my test server, I already configured a few metrics received through OpenTelemetry protocol. And I will show you how it's configured and what you need to use it. So let me share my screen. Okay, so you should see my screen now. I hope it's visible.
Yeah,
we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, if you want OpenTelemetry, OTLP protocol more specifically, you have to load a special module for that. So this is my configuration for NetXMS server, and the important part is this one. You have module OTLP loaded. But first thing, OTLP module will internally use Web API, so you have to have Web API enabled and listening. By default, Web API will listen on a loopback to be able to receive OTLP data. You will have to enable it on some external interface. So I have listening on all addresses, and I have OTLP. You do not need Web API module as such. You only need Web API core enabled if you don't need other Web API functionality. So OTLP will register its own endpoint. So this is on the basically configuration on the server level. When OTLP data stream will be received by the server, it will automatically try to match incoming metrics to NetXMS nodes using IP addresses, host name, whatever is available to actually match. And if it matches, then the server will try to find a DCI where it can push actual OpenTelemetry data. Let's take a quick look at sample configuration of the sender for OpenTelemetry. So I have a Ubuntu machine with OpenTelemetry collector running, and if you look at the configuration, the important part for us is exporters. So we have OpenTelemetry exporter configured to point to our NetXMS server. So at the moment, NetXMS server only supports protobuffer over HTTP. So you cannot just send a raw protobuffer. So you have to specify HTTP endpoint. You only have to specify this basic URL. Actual URL will be OTLP backend /viva/metrics, but most exporters will add that automatically. and NetXMS server expects that. You have to specify that we need a protobuffer encoding, no compression, and it should be authorized. So NetXMS server will only accept connections or push requests with a valid authorization token. So you issue your authorization token as usual. If we look at the NetXMS configuration, you choose your user. I created a dedicated OTLP user. You go to authentication tokens and you just issue a new token, put the description, and then you can use this token in authorization header. And basically that's it. We have our exporter configured pointing to our NetXMS server. Then NetXMS server will start receiving OTLP metric feed. On the server side, you have new type of metrics. If we look inside, we have a new origin for the metric, which is OTLP. And they behave kind of like push metrics because it's the push protocol by nature, but we have a dedicated origin to avoid misunderstanding with push and to handle some differences between the normal push and OTLP push. If we take a look at the server log, on the high debug level, you may see a lot of messages about incoming metrics. You see that for many metrics, there is not much in DCI, so metric is received, but we do not have a DCI to push the data, so it's just ignored. We can create some simple metric, like we have a very simple metric called process memory virtual. We can just create this as usual. Let's create a new metric. I select origin OTLP, put metric name, memory, data type, everything else is as usual. Apply. And here we have our metric, and we should wait for the next push. Yeah, so we get a new batch of metrics. And if we look here, we have our value pushed via OTLP. So this is a simple one. In many cases, you will receive a metric with multiple additional attributes. And example is here, already configured, network connection number by different connection states. Like we have TCP established connections, TCP listen, synsense, inject, time wait, and so on. So number of connections in different states. How I have configured, because the metric name is basically the same, they only differ in additional attributes. For that, you can use instance discovery, which works a bit differently from other instance discovery types. Let's switch to edit mode. So this is my basic OTLP metric. So as a metric name, I just put instance. It's not that important actually, but it's advised to use it like this. You can use instance name to do a display name, to build a display name. And most important is how instance discovery is done. If you look at instance discovery, we select OTLP as method. And for OTLP, you have three different fields, the metric name. And notice that it's pattern, so you actually can use patterns, not necessarily the exact match. I use just exact match here in my case. Then you specify one or more attributes for this metric to use as a key attributes. That means that every push, every instance with a different set of those key attributes will be considered a different instance. And then you can have instance name format, which is optional. You can leave it empty, and the system will build it for you, but you can build your own instance name. And you can refer to the key attribute here in this form, like you can see it here. And so that way, the system will create multiple metrics. If it receives a new protocol value, for example, it will immediately create a new instance and so on. And this is how all those BCIs was created, actually. Just server received a new metric for different states, different protocols, and so those metrics were created. So yeah, maybe not that simple, but still doable if you know what you are looking for, what attributes you have, and so on. And of course, you have access to the filter, so you can filter out instances based on any criteria using the normal instance discovery filter. There are some room for improvement, definitely. One of the things that I want to do in version 6.2 is to simplify configuration of the OTLP metrics. So right now you do not have selection working, so you have to know your metric names. You either because you know what is on your collector, or by looking at NetXMS server logs, like what you are receiving, and then you just you just put correct metric name and attribute names. What I plan to do is server will be caching all received metrics and attributes for specific node, and then you will be able to just select from whatever metric is there, whatever attributes are there. This just simplify this configuration. Same goes for single instance metrics. Here you will just be able to select metric name. So yeah, that's basically it. After everything configured, it's just metrics. You can set thresholds, transform, etc. Look at the chart, all as usual. So that's it about OTLP receiver. Thank you. And who's next?
Okay, I just wanted to also mention if anyone has any questions, you can drop them to chat, and we will take them as they come. And now, Tanya, it's your turn. You can start sharing your screen and tell us about usability improvements.
So first thing, it's hiding and moving columns. It's something that was entered into issue tracker in 2013. Finally, it's done. I wanted it all the time I worked here. So basically, in any table you have, you can move columns that you're interested in, and you can hide columns you're not interested in. For example, when I work with network maps, I work a lot with peer nodes, and interface name is here, and peer nodes usually are somewhere here, and you not able to see them in one screen. And basically, or SPF, for example, I'm not interested at all, so I can hide them. And now I'm able to see here interfaces of original interfaces and peer interfaces in one screen, and I can hide more columns if I need to see more stuff. And then I just can show all columns and restore default column order to restore everything as it was before I started changing it. And it works in any place where we have tables. So basically it will work in FDB. We can hide and move connection history, interfaces, like anywhere where you see table, you are able to move columns, you are able to rearrange them as you want. So it will truly be useful exactly for your case.
Tanya, question
Yes.
to you from Luis. Does that feature work on any console, web or desktop?
Yes, it should work on both consoles, web and rich console, rich management client. Yeah.
I like how you answer. This is the answer you get from engineer. It should work. We hope it does.
I haven't checked, but no one complained that it is not working. So yeah, basically, as you know, we have maybe you don't know, we have the same code base, and it's implemented in both code bases, but yeah, I haven't tested it myself. Okay, another thing, table creation from SNMP Explorer and SNMP Explorer et al. Was improved. So now we have here, you can see you have search string. We can search for list of entries. Let's search. We can search forward and backward. 1, 3. Okay. So I was searching for Cisco 612. This one. So basically, if you know something in description, or you can search for part of the OIT, then you are able to search over this tree and find all entries. And as you saw, we can search backward and forward. Next thing that was improved, now we can see more information that is in MIP but was not in the UI. For example, we can see num values, and we can see display hints. So more data that was available in MIP now also is available on the UI. And another thing that I wanted to show is table creation. So I hope you already know that it was possible to create data collection item from the walk results. Now it's also possible to create a SNMP table from the walk results and also from the tree. I will show you how to create it from the tree. If you know interface tables, it's nothing under index. So basically I should select the column that will give me some results, because yeah, if we will, oh no, we have some indexes. Okay, then I most probably can select this one, create SNMP table. So how it works, when I right click on the column, this column will be used as an instance column from which all instances will be taken. And here you can see all other columns that will be added here. I can say that, for example, I don't need interface in octet and this columns also. And I can say that instance column is not only index one, but also, for example, description. As you know, we can have multiple instance columns. And let's click OK. And now under data collection, we should be able to see, sorry, not edit mode. We should be able to see table with 2 instance columns. With all the columns I wanted that were selected are added here. And now you will be able to edit this definition and maybe make some more user-friendly display names, for example. So it's like one of the improvements that was done in SNMP tables.
Tanya, one more question.
Yes.
I don't know if it's to you or to Victor, but Ivan asked here if we will add hide option in alarms area. It would be nice to hide help desk too. So
it's exactly the same. If I will find alarms.
So it's already there, you mean?
Yeah, I can hide zones. I can hide this column. I can rearrange. I don't know if let's restore show all columns. Yeah, so you saw that zone column for me was somewhere here because I already moved it. I was not interested in it and I moved it somewhere in the back. And yeah, so basically, as I said, in any view where you see table, is it data collection, for example, you can hide any column in data collection. You can rearrange columns in data collection. You can rearrange the same in editor mode of data collection. So like anywhere where you see table, you're able to rearrange columns and hide columns you're not interested in.
So I want here specify he's talking about global alarms area. Okay, it's drag and drop already here. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like anywhere where you see table.
Anywhere.
If like yeah. If it's not working, then you can ask and we should apply. But basically,
drop us a line. Send us a screenshot.
Drop us a line. Yeah. Because basically, it should be implemented everywhere. Okay, another improvement that was done is selector in instance discovery. Victor already showed it, but before that you were required to enter all these things manually. So now it's a script selector that shows you all the scripts from script library. And there is, for example, agent list, which were not shown anywhere before. And now you have list of agent lists where you can see their names and select the one that you want. And the same for agent table and so on and so forth. So basically everything that we are caching, that we are having information that we're able to select is available. Here will be available a selector and you will have the list with the items that you can select. Okay, event creation, next thing. So another thing that I remember that I wanted for really long, when you are configuring thresholds, usually you create the CI, you like configure all the stuff, then you go to the thresholds and you remember, damn, I forgot to create an event. Now in selector, you are able to create new events just from the selector. And what is even like more improvement, that it will have all the DCI parameters of this event when it is generated, at least from the threshold. It's done from the threshold violation, and I think for now, I should check, but like maybe in one more place where we exactly know that exactly those parameters will be there. But at least for the threshold violation and threshold rearm, we know exactly what parameters will be provided to event, and it's auto-completed by default. So from here, you will be able to create new events. Okay. And it will be auto-select. Okay. Next thing. I don't know if like someone bumped into this, but we had limitation of 16 items for the line chart. As you can see, I have really a lot of CPUs, and now we removed this limitation. Let's remove show extended legend. And as you can see, now we don't have any limitations. Our limitation was connected with color generation. Now colors are auto-generated after the 16th item, and so you'll be able to see as many items as you want, you need, or fits into your screen.
It looks like modern art, Tanya. So.
Yeah. Okay. Next thing is pin area. Let's pin to the left. Okay. Let's pin this one to the right. I wanted to pin it to the left, but yeah, that's okay, because now you're able to drag and drop between pin areas. And basically we can pin, for example, this at the bottom and this one also at the bottom. And also another thing that you can do is rearranging them. So you can rearrange them here, and you can drag and drop them to another pin area. So it's just now movable, not the static. It's not required for you to pin to another area if you just misplaced it. Okay, next thing is object status explanation. Now for each object, we are able to see status explanation, where we can see that its current status is critical. Algorithm for status calculation is most critical. This means that the most critical status above all is shown, because we have like different algorithms for that. I don't know if anyone uses them, but they are in place. And we have status for the children. We have alarm severity, the most critical alarm severity for this node, and by like how we decided the status. So, for example, we can check this node, show, okay, explain status. Here we can see that defining factor is alarm severity, because interfaces all are good, and the most critical alarm severity was warning. So object status is warning. It's small improvement to check what is happening with the node, why it has this status.
Tanya, a small question about the line chart. If it's updates is applied to the dashboard area. Ivan wasn't able to create 10 plus DCI graphs because Legend was hiding everything.
It is everywhere, but with the the Legend thing that I done should exist like for long ago. Like extended Legend, yes, extended Legend, it is populated as a list, and it might eat up a lot of space. So for when you have too many DCIs, it's better to use not extended Legend, but the simplified. When it's only name, then it will be reordered in lines, and then you should be able to see this graph. Like we don't really have other options how to do it otherwise. So basically, yes, if you will use a simple Legend on the dashboard, you should be able to see as many items as you want. But still, like Legend will eat some space. Maybe you should use, for example, scrollable dashboard for that to like increase space of the dashboard to show elements. Okay. Filter for performance tab. It's really small improvement, but you can search here the performance information you want by the description. For example, we have somewhere energy consumption graphs here, a lot of them. And I know I have a lot of them because I duplicated this DCI a lot of times for the testing. Yeah, so basically another thing. Okay, so I finished my first list. And I'm going to the second list. Some of them I will just mention. For example, two-factor authentication now can be enforced on group level or globally. I don't know if I should show this, but yeah, I can show, for example, on administration group, you have this enforced two-factor authentication, and it's the same for global configuration. It's server configuration and 2FA enforce for all, to enforce all users to use 2FA. We have improvements of an XSL editor in WebUI. Everyone who uses WebUI, like now it finally has normal highlighting. You are able to use, like, type normally, move around, and things like that. And so we changed it to normal editor finally. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that new NetXMS installation will generate self-signed certificate. Use it for testing purposes mostly. It's like for sure better to create certificates, by yourself. But yes, at least for testing and for first configuration, you can use initial ones that are generated. Deployment. So it's now you're able to deploy or update existing report definitions from the UI. I don't have reporting server installed, but if I understood correctly, here you will have report definitions. You can see that I have communication failure because my reporting server is not configured and not started. But basically here you will be able to manage reports from the UI. Okay, another thing, populate object tools, input fields. So basically I wanted to show one example. I have object tool, this one, run SSH connection to Linux terminal. It's a default one. I have input field username. By default, my username is Zef, usually, so I can preset this as the default input, and on all systems it will work. So basically, if I will run it here, tools connect SSH. Okay. Now I'm able to enter my password and log in to this machine. And I'm not required to enter every time admin or every time Zef because it's a pre-configured thing. Basically, that's all. Any questions?
No, we just had a comment that it all looks great, and you speak so nicely about this new stuff. So I was wondering what was there before. Totally whole new world, So if there are no other questions, I think we will not keep everyone for long now. And we are preparing loads of interesting new things. We hope you really have time not to only to listen about them, but also use them and give us your feedback on the Telegram channel or on the forum. And we are always happy to hear from you. This is it for now, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.